Three, two, one.
So let's talk about the basic vascular access that you see in a general hospital regular floor and ICUs. Okay, so here is a picture of the body, and these are the basic vascular access that you will see. First, you have your 1 inch to 2 inches catheter in a vein that's usually in a hand or in the on the lower arm, which is called a peripheral IV. So that's your basic IVs. Then you have your midline, which is again a catheter that goes into the vein, but this time it will go into the vein, in the big vein of the upper arm. The distinguishing factor is that with the midline, the tip of it ends in the armpit area. Okay? Now, the other type of catheter we have is the PICC line. The PICC line is similar to the midline in a sense that it's inserted in the big arm, in the big veins of the upper arm, but the catheter this time goes all the way to the superior vena cava area, particularly the distal end of the superior vena cava, which is this part, to the junction of the atrium and the cava and the superior vena cava. Now, the other types of vascular access that you see in the floors are the regular central lines, which is either placed in the jugular vein, which is by the neck, and the tip, same as your PICC line, it goes down and ends up on the distal end of the superior vena cava to the cava atrial junction. And the other way that the central line is placed is through the subclavian vein, which is this vein. In this particular example, it's placed on the left side of the subclavian vein, but the catheter goes down all the way to the distal end of the superior vena cava and the cava atrial junction. So to summarize, a PICC line, a jugular central line, and a subclavian approach central lines are all central lines. What defines what a central line is not where it's inserted, in this case the upper arm, the neck, and the chest, but rather where the tip of this catheter ends, which is the distal end of the superior vena cava to the cava atrial junction. The other two catheters that I presented earlier are what we call peripheral IVs. Why peripheral IVs? Because the catheter ends on a peripheral vein. On the arm, it ends on the peripheral vein. On the midline, it ends still on a peripheral vein, because the central vein starts from the axillary, subclavian, innominate, and superior vena cava. So those are the basic vascular access you see on a regular general surgical floor or intensive care unit of a hospital.